Gotham is a microcosm of our world where people can live these forsaken lives.
Matt Reeves initially wanted to continue the Penguin story in the Batman Part 2, but with the clamor for the Penguin Season 2 only getting louder, the miniseries may just get a full-blown multi-season run. If that happens, ScreenRant has a couple theories about Oz's next steps in Gotham. From the Penguin's failed mayoral campaign in Batman Returns, to comics like Batman Earth 1 and the Catwoman Election Night one-shot, the Penguin running for office is a common plotline for a reason. The Penguin is the Batman villain who represents the corruption of public service institutions. In Batman's Rogues Gallery, he's as close to a real-world villain as it gets, and HBO's The Penguin leverages this to full gritty effect. For those who haven't seen the finale yet, this is where the big spoilers come in. After the bittersweet ending, the next most logical thing for Oz to do is to try and become an elected official. And since Oz is gifted with the Riz, we know he can really pull this off. Apart from his ability to talk his way into and out of anything, Oz now has the money and power to actually launch a mayoral campaign. All it takes for Oz is to somehow get on a mic in front of the press. And from there, he can smooth talk his way into politics. It's even possible that Oz was just using Councilman Sebastian Haiti to lay the groundwork for his own political ambitions. When he does launch a mayoral campaign, Oz will likely admit to being a criminal, but only in the past, setting up a fake redemption story that ends with him being the mayor. And with the gangs of Gotham in his silk-lined coat pocket, Oz can actually support his lies by controlling what happens on the ground. With the resources at Oz's disposal after the finale of The Penguin, becoming the mayor wouldn't be that hard. In fact, why stop there? The Penguin Season 2 could settle the mayoral elections by the middle of the season, and then set up Oz to seek higher office in the finale. If the second season happens before Batman Part 2, the Penguin could develop the perfect villain for Bruce Wayne, Governor, or even Senator Oz Cobb. Apart from being a natural progression for Oz, this could finally allow the Penguin to get out of the Sopranos' shadow. Alongside the rise of Mayor Cobb, there's one thing the Penguin could do to become more faithful to the comics. For the non-comic book geeks watching, Jason Todd was the second ever Robin that Batman trained, and as early as 2022, Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves have discussed the possibility that Jason could be in the Batman Part 2. Specifically, Pattinson declared his love for the tragic comic book storyline, A Death in the Family, where Jason gets killed by the Joker, but he has to be 13, Pattinson said in an interview via Collider, revealing the Batman actor's in-depth knowledge of the tragic comic. Moreover, following the finale of The Penguin, there's actually a way for Jason to organically debut in the story. In Red Hood and the Outlaws number 23, it was revealed that Jason's dad Willis was framed for a crime that Penguin committed, leading to Willis being thrown into prison. Jason was told that his father died while incarcerated. In reality, however, Willis wrote many letters to Jason, which he never received. And during these early years, Jason spent his time caring for his mother, who suffers from addiction, while also being a small-time street criminal. Clearly, Jason Todd's comic book backstory is already a perfect fit for the gritty Gotham of the Penguin, and introducing Jason in Season 2 could be a good way to set up his transformation into Robin in the Batman Part 2. Jason's backstory even includes seeing the Flying Graysons in action, the family of the first Robin, Dick Grayson, and this could prompt all sorts of fan theories about whether Dick or Jason will become the Robin of Matt Reeves' universe. From his comic book backstory to the possible future of the franchise, Jason Todd would be the perfect new character to add in the Penguin Season 2. That said, after the Penguin covered the character's origin story, Season 2 could also use another classic Batman villain. For now, it remains to be seen whether the Penguin Season 2 could finally include Batman himself, who didn't appear in the first season so as not to pull focus from the villains. However, someone will need to stand up to Oz's plans. And with the rise of a radical politician like Oz Cobb, Season 2 has the perfect opportunity to introduce a newly appointed district attorney in Harvey Dent. Curiously, back in March 2024, Narcos and the Sandman's Boyd Holbrook was rumored to be in talks to play Dent in the Batman Part 2. And while those rumors remain unconfirmed, Holbrook potentially has the screen presence to match up against Colin Farrell's Oz. While the Batman and the Penguin Season 1 covered the crime and police procedural genres, Holbrook's Harvey Dent could usher the second season into a legal procedural, fighting Oz in a battlefield in which both have natural talents. This version of Dent could even have a realistic version of the Two-Face scar from the get-go. This scar could be part of not just Dent's backstory, but also his arsenal during social or legal interactions, allowing versions to stand out from the many previous depictions of Two-Face. The franchise could even go out and declare the Penguin to be done, replacing it with a sequel spin-off, Two-Face, starring Harvey Dent, and a more comic book accurate version of the Penguin in the finale. In this world, maybe Dent is the hero that Gotham deserves. On the other hand, Dent could turn out to be an even more dangerous villain for Batman in Part 2. Whatever side the coin falls, big changes are coming to Gotham City. In fact, there's a reason to believe that Season 2 will adapt Sophia's Batman Dark Victory arc. As Matt Reeves has proclaimed in previous interviews, his Batman universe was inspired by The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Hush. And after the Batman adapted The Long Halloween, the Penguin Season 2 would be the perfect place to adapt Dark Victory. Before the Batman Part 2 ends with Reeves' adaptation of Hush, notably Batman Dark Victory is famous for being about Sophia's transformation into the Hangman, and this lines up with the events in the series. The Penguin also ends with the implication that Sophia could get out of Arkham soon, after she received a letter from Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, who claims to be Sophia's half-sister. Apart from how this was confirmed in the Batman, a professional thief like Selina could conceivably break Sophia out of Arkham, and Selina could inadvertently release a serial killer with a score to settle. Season 2's big twist could even include Sophia manipulating Selina into doing the killing for her. To Sophia, that's what family is for. Moreover, if Harvey Dent does get introduced in Season 2, he and Sophia actually have a violent backstory in Batman Dark Victory. While Sophia has committed more than her fair share of murders in the first season, her work isn't over. With the Penguin's origin story in the books, it could be time for the Hangman to truly shine in Season 2. After all, the Penguin may be the first time for the character to get the spotlight in a live-action drama. Combined with Matt Reeves drawing inspiration from Jeff Loeb's work, in this case Dark Victory, Sophia could rise to her true potential as a supervillain in Season 2. And with all these villains on the rise, the second season could also reveal that Batman has been investigating the Gotham gang war all along. The bat signal tease in the very last scene of The Penguin was clearly a setup to Batman Part 2. But if The Penguin Season 2 gets the green light, then Batman has to make an appearance in the show as well. More importantly, Season 2 could reveal why Batman has been absent, even from the news, throughout the entire first season. Notably, the Batman ended with the vigilante helping in relief efforts after Riddler destroyed Gotham's seawalls. And after that, he seems to have pulled his best trick, disappearing without a trace. Yet all the events of the first season couldn't have escaped the notice of the greatest detective in the world. Combined with Batman not even getting mentioned in The Penguin, it's entirely possible that Bruce was busy observing from the shadows. While Oz thinks he was being smart by using the abandoned tunnels as his hideout, those same tunnels could have been already mapped and constantly monitored by Batman. As a new breed of criminal rises up to take out the old guard, the Dark Knight could simply be biding his time until the perfect opportunity to strike. If the Batman has been watching from the shadows all along, his inclusion in the show could justify the need for a protracted second season instead of just The Batman 2. But what do you think? Should the story continue in The Batman 2? Or should HBO greenlight The Penguin Season 2? Thank you for watching Screen Rant and stay tuned for all your DC news.